Oh, hey. Oh, let me see. Hey, what's up, Zulu? Sorry, guys. I didn't know you guys could see us, or
Wait,
they
they
could.
couldn't hear us, then,
No,
could
no,
they?
they didn't hear our crazy
Oh my
conversation.
goodness.
Because if they'd have heard it, they would have been all up in it.
Woo!
They'd have been commenting like, "What?" Because we was
It
talking about
was.
we was talking about
Don't.
people. We were talking about people that have sex with hookers. How grimy that shit is. We didn't go too deep. Don't be out here having sex with no hookers. All right. So anyway, let me hop in and talk about what I wanted to discuss today. The topic that I wanted to hit with you guys while we're driving home. We just got back home from New York. You guys might have seen that we were in New York this week. Hit the thumbs up button, by the way, if you haven't hit the thumbs up button. Also, shout out your city, shout out where you're from, your city, your business, or your dream. As you guys know, this is the platform for intelligent black people. So if you're black and intelligent, then join the tribe because we need as many smart black people as we can get because we got too much coonery out here in these streets. But anyway, I want to talk about Lil Kim. Lil Kim is a rapper who was, kind of the she's almost like the grandmother to Cardi B, because you had Lil
The
Kim,
grandmother.
then you had Nicki Minaj, and then you got Cardi B. Like I see like that, and it's unfortunate that you only have like one semi skank rapper like per generation. But it is kind of like I don't like that. I don't like the idea that a woman
Well,
has to be
Millie
skanky.
Jackson. Anybody know about Millie Jackson? Was
But she was
like
not a rapper.
she wasn't a rapper, but there was no rap back then. But Millie
She
Jackson
was
was
raunchy.
like the Little Kim of our days,
Oh,
what it was for
not
our
my days.
parents.
I don't remember Millie Jackson like that.
No, what Little Kim was to our days is what Millie
Oh, Millie Jackson
Jackson
was to our
is to our
parents.
parents. Millie Jackson was raunchy.
Okay. So Millie Jackson,
And
Lil
she has a
Kim,
great singing
Nicki
voice.
Minaj, Cardi B. Okay. Yes, she does. That I know. I do know.
Excellent.
I do know her singing voice. I did see a short clip of her being raunchy. Okay. All right. So here's the deal. Here's what I want to talk about. Actually, this is not meant to be disparaging toward Little Kim. Even though I probably already see you got me on that negative track, and I need to
I
get
got
back.
you on the negative
Let
track.
me let me tell you why I wanted to bring up Little Kim. Little Kim filed bankruptcy recently. She had, I think, she had about 4 million in debt, but only 2.5 million in assets. And when you're underwater like that, it gets kind of tough. And so she has this mansion, and the monthly payment's about $10,000 a month. And Kim could not make the payments on the mansion, so Kim had to declare bankruptcy. And the great thing about it, though, the thing that made me happy for her is she worked it out. Like she reorganized her finances, and she's actually filed to get out of bankruptcy court, which I think is awesome for her, right? And so one of the things that the reason it made me inspired me to talk about it is because I think a lot of people have a misunderstanding of what bankruptcy represents. Like they think bankruptcy, if you go bankrupt, that means it's game over, you're done, your shit's ruined forever. It's the end, and it's not. Depending on the type of bankruptcy you file, it becomes a reorganization. It's just bankruptcy protection. Protection, kind of allows you to just sort of get the bill collectors off your back for a little bit, so you can get stuff reorganized and get your finances right. And that's really true, because I know a lot of times with the a lot of the business owners we have in the Black Business School, sometimes you have situations where like if you just had like a month or two of breathing room where you didn't have to pay any bills for a couple months, and you could just sort of let your money build up or whatever and get your business straight, or wait for some money to come in or whatever, like you would be good. A lot of times profitable businesses go bankrupt because the amount of money that's going out ends up exceeding the amount of money that's coming in. So you have a cash flow imbalance issue. It's cash flow that kills businesses. It ain't profitability. Did you know that, babe?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, there's a lot of business owners that are profitable who go bankrupt because sometimes too much profitability can actually harm your business. Like especially if you offer credit to people, like if you let people buy on credit accounts receivable, where a bunch of people owe you money but you don't have any cash. And let's say some of those people pay you back, some don't, some pay late, some, just get 30, 40, 60 days or whatever to repay you. Well, you could be in a situation where your bill collectors want their money now, but the people that owe you money aren't going to pay you till later. So it's almost like, like if I'm gonna get paid Friday, but I need to get my car fixed on Monday. then I'm kind of stuck, right? I have to find somebody that can give me liquidity, that can make me liquid. Liquidity comes from translating my assets into cash, so I can handle immediate obligations. So that's why payday lenders. See, people give payday lenders a bad rap because some of them do deserve a bad rap. But you got to ask yourself.
Sharks.
Well, that's the thing. They are sharks, absolutely. But the why are they sharks? They are sharks because they see a need and they are accused of exploiting the need. And I'm not going to debate that point. But the thing about it is that you got to ask yourself, if people know that payday lenders are fucking them, why do they keep going back? You keep going back because you have to, because the banks won't open the doors for people. The banks don't give people loans. The banks don't help you through your tough situations. But the loan shark is like, hey, I'm gonna charge you 30% interest, but I'm gonna make some money available to you. And I'm gonna tell you, I've been in situations where my money was really, really bad. I'm talking about when I had my master's in finance, like working on my PhD. I've been in situations where my money was bad, and I would have gladly taken a loan from a loan shark. Not the kind that will break your legs and kill you or charge you 30% a day interest and nothing like that. But if somebody came along and said, I will loan you all the money you need for the next 2 weeks, but I'm gonna charge you 30% per year, so it'll be prorated. So it won't be a full 30%. It'll be, that's the annual rate.
I just think it's exploitation.
It absolutely is. Oh, it looks like I'm back. Can you? I don't know how to. Let me see. How do I flip this around? Here we go. Okay.
Do you want me to hold it?
Yeah. Do you mind?
I don't mind.
Okay.
Well, I was gonna go to sleep, but.
Oh, sorry. I'll keep it short.
Okay.
So yeah. So I think that it is one thing to say that payday lenders are, you can't argue they're exploitative, but the problem is that the people who claim exploitation are not providing an adequate replacement. So I could say, let's say that people get jobs and they're making $12 an hour working at a factory, and I say that's wrong. You're exploiting those people. You shouldn't, they shouldn't be working for you for $12 an hour. And then I force the company to get rid of those jobs, right? Let's say that I force the company to shut down. Well, then now these people have nothing at all. They have no jobs at all. So then the people get mad at you because they're like, wait a minute, we didn't like we're making $12 an hour, but that's better than making nothing. So a lot of times people who complain about something being exploitative are not people that provide an adequate solution. Because I'm just telling you, I've used, I used payday lenders back in the day when I was really broke and I really needed money till Friday.
Well, my thing is, how come? This is a question I had. How come you didn't just live within your means, Boyce, or below your means? What happened to that?
Because things happen, and then sometimes your means barely provide for everything that you need. Sometimes you just don't have enough money to do the things you want to do. Sometimes people just make mistakes. So I really think overall, I'm not trying to say that it's right. I'm trying to say that the analysis, the way people analyze it in black and white terms is wrong, because one of the things we understand in finance is markets. And a market does not exist for a product unless somebody wants it. If there's not a buyer and a seller, then, so you could argue, for example, that prostitution is exploitative. Well, who's being exploited? The person who's paying for the sex or the person who's giving up the sex? Well, what if they both agree? Hey, look, that person offered me $100. I gave them some sex. Leave us alone. Well, then maybe we should leave them alone. I don't know. I think it depends on how you look at it. But I think that's a libertarian standpoint. And I think that, that paternalism sometimes, it's a little bit off. That's what I'll say. But I'll say this. Okay, so let's talk about Lil Kim. So Lil Kim, with the bankruptcy thing, the reason I chose to talk about it is because I like the fact that she came out of bankruptcy. I think that there's a lesson there in terms of knowing that bankruptcy is not the end all be all. It doesn't mean that you're financially dead. Sometimes companies declare bankruptcy and they're still making money. Some of them are still worth billions of dollars. And sometimes bankruptcy allows you to have protection, like incubation. It's like you're incubating the business so the business can restructure itself so that it can come back stronger and healthier. So a lot of times a bankruptcy is almost like an injury. Like an athlete who is injured doesn't mean that he can't play anymore. Like Klay Thompson for the Golden State Warriors, he pulled his hamstring. So he's injured, but that doesn't mean they're going to cut him from the team. Now if you kept forcing him to play, then you might ruin his leg to the point where you have to cut him because he can't play anymore because you forced him to continue under duress. But by letting him sit on the sideline for a couple games, it's like putting his body into bankruptcy protection, where you're saying, look, we're going to let him ride the bench for a little bit so that he can get better and heal, and then he'll come back, as strong as he was before. So a lot of times with companies, the bankruptcy is kind of just an injury. It's an economic injury, and you may need some therapy. You may need some people to come in and fix things, but you can make a comeback. And so Lil Kim sounds like she made a comeback, and I think that's really awesome. I think that everybody in here, I don't know if you guys feel free to shout it out if you're not ashamed to admit that you've had financial problems, or that you've made financial mistakes, or that you've fallen under duress, or you've been bankrupt before. I know I'll be the first to admit I filed bankruptcy. Shit, I ain't got no shame in that. I done had bankruptcy and a repo. So shit, when I was younger, I mean, money was tight. It's hard being black up in this mug, and then also sometimes you have money and you don't do what you're supposed to do, but that doesn't mean you give up. Like, you should never give up on yourself and define yourself as some sort of a loser. I mean, in fact, I've had people try to pull my bankruptcy up like, ha, this proves that he doesn't know what he's talking about. This proves that he's a quack. It's like, no, I always knew what I was talking about, but sometimes you know what to do and you just don't do it. Like, I used to be fat, but it wasn't like I didn't know how to get my fat ass up and go jogging. I just chose not to do it, right? So sometimes we all fall short of the glory of our own greatness. Like, we all fall short of what we're supposed to be. We fall short of what it means to be perfect, and I think that's okay, right? So I think I like the Lil Kim story because it wasn't just a typical like rapper goes bankrupt story, because so many of these rappers end up broke, and you feel bad for them because they're like 50, trying to be 20-year-olds, trying to find a way to be relevant and trying to make money and all that. And it's sad, but I think Lil Kim, I would really advise her, if she's not already doing this. I looked at her on Instagram. Lil Kim, do you know Lil Kim has 2.5 million Instagram followers?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's money.
I gotta get an Instagram account.
Yeah, but that's wealth. When you got 2.5 million people following you on Instagram, that's wealth.
That's money. Okay.
Yeah, like, think about it. If Kim Kardashian can make 100 million a year off of 50 million Instagram followers, then maybe that means Lil Kim can make 10 million a year off 2.5 million, right? I mean, it's just, the math. Let me see. Well, 5 million followers is 10% of 100 million, is 10 million. So maybe 5 million a year. Who knows? Whatever the number is. If you do precise proportions, it's like 5 million. But still, like, the fact that Lil Kim has a brand, the fact that Lil Kim has influence, the fact that Lil Kim is out there.
Is she making any money? Is she doing anything?
Well, she's putting out an album, and I assume she's still doing concerts and stuff. I would love to see what her.
How does she make? Yeah.
I would like to see what her income stream is. Like, exactly, Kim, exactly how are you making money? Like, where are you getting your income every month? I think that having a good business manager that can link her up with brands, or have her create brands around, because everybody thinks she's a brand, right? Everybody thinks about something when you say the word Lil Kim, it means something to millions of people. So given that that's the case, then products can be created around that branding that allow her to monetize who she is without ever having to perform again. So I'd be curious to know what Lil Kim's strategy is and what her team does. I assume she has a team. I assume they have a strategy. But I think, I just love to see what
she hasn't had a hit album, a hit record.
Well, that's the thing. Like, a hit record is not necessary anymore to make money.
It isn't.
Yeah. I mean, Nas ain't really had any hits in a while. The hits, they've already had enough hits. You know what I mean? Like if you made hits, Ice Cube ain't had a major hit in 20 years.
But he does those movies and stuff.
Right. Ice Cube's killing it. Why? Because Ice Cube is linked into his brand value. Well, Ice Cube knows he can go to Big Three and get respect from all these former ballers and pull together a league and get people to buy tickets to the.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he's got Big Three. He's got he still makes music. People don't know that. It is very good music. Ice Cube's music is really good. It's better than it used to be. I've always been a huge Ice Cube fan. He's been one of my favorite rappers of all time. And along with T.I. and Ice Cube, those are my guys. But it's like with Ice Cube, I'm really impressed with the way he taps into his brand value. Like, it's really hard for a rapper who was super big in the 90s, in the top 10 in the 90s, to not be worth at least $50 million.
Well, someone said Lil Kim is acting.
Is she acting?
She's got a movie with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, that's okay, but I kind of feel like Lil Kim should be making movies. You know, like I feel like a lot. I mean, I'm not telling them what to do. I'm not acting like it's easy, but you know, like Will Smith. Will Smith is not just acting in movies. People don't know a lot of the movies Will Smith acts in are movies that Will and Jada own. Like
Right.
they're green lighting film projects. You know, like they've gone to like that boss level. LeBron is green lighting projects. Like LeBron is gonna own a team one day. He's not gonna be, you know, he's not gonna be playing basketball that much longer. And by the time his son is playing in the NBA, whatever he does, it'll be for like extra pocket change. It won't be because he has to in order to, you know, sustain himself. You know, so I really kind of think that Jay-Z becoming a billionaire, Rihanna being worth 600 million. I think that's like a wake-up call, like for a lot of artists, where I think they're starting to see like you have brand value when you're not performing. Like Rihanna, you know, I mean, she puts out albums and keeps her fan base popping and all that. She's still pretty young because she's like, I think in her early 30s or something. But by the time Rihanna hits 40, 45, I'm willing to bet you Rihanna won't be making music that much anymore. Because a lot of her music is based on her being young and sexy. And, you know, when you're 45, you're not as young and sexy as you used to.
We saw Rihanna in that movie, right? She's acting now too.
Yeah, but that's not where she's making her money.
It's the makeup.
Rihanna
She's
made
making
her motherfucking money from that goddamn makeup.
makeup.
That's
Yeah.
how she got her shit. Rihanna just basically looked and said, wait a minute, I got 90 million people that follow me on social media who want to be like me, who
Influencer.
want to wear what I'm wearing, and I'm going to just get products that will allow you to be like me. And that's it. The person who's actually nailed it the most from a monetary standpoint is probably Kylie Jenner.
No one.
Yeah.
You know how I feel about her.
Kylie Jenner's little 21-year-old ass. She's knocking on the door of billionaire status because she got little girls to buy lipstick because they all want like her fake ass Kardashian lips. Right? You know, like it is what it is, you know. So I think it's really interesting. I think it's beautiful, and I think that every entertainer needs to go to business school. Like seriously, like I mentioned that on my Instagram. I said, if you're a rapper, stop worrying about making your music. Make your music, but stop trying to make money from your music. There's no money in your music. Come to the Black Business School so we can teach you how to brand build, how to monetize, how to distribute, how to do all the things that you need to do in order to have real power in the industry. You know, and that's what, you know, so I think that what's happening with the rappers provides an interesting talking point within the Black Business School, because most of our students either are in the entertainment industry, or they know people who are in the entertainment industry, or they're observing what's happening in the entertainment industry. So what I'm trying to say is that for Black people, it's really just about understanding industry and seeing entertainment as just one spinoff of the ultimate, which is just industry itself. Industry itself says, you know, like you want to understand how to produce the product, how to distribute the product, how to monetize the product, and that's how you make your money. So anyway, I'm about to go. I'll hit you guys up a little and hit the thumbs up button if you haven't done that yet. Please hit the thumbs up button. Also, if you haven't checked out our program for kids, our digital program for children, feel free to visit blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com. That's blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com. I'll see you later. Be good. Peace.